Raanan is fat and he's a Jew. He'll tell you something that you already knew. Your favorite movie sucks. Your favorite movie sucks. American Beauty or Forrest Gump. Your favorite movie sucks.
We are back with another episode of Your Favorite Movie Sucks. We have a returning guest.
Two-timer,
which I think the only other person who has that honor is Joe List. So
and we look nothing alike. You won't hear that in the comments at all. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, you were just telling me what was the comment. He has a new special, but
yes.
we both have specials, so we're promoting. We're doing double promotion.
Yeah.
But I guess you've probably seen mine since you're watching this. If you haven't seen mine, I'm morbidly Jewish, but hilarious guy. He's got a new special on Mark Norman's YouTube channel.
Long story thin.
Long story thin. Hey, morbidly Jewish. Long story thin.
There you go.
So we both deal with the plight of being fat and I guess the equal plight of being thin. And it's so funny.
Thin's not really in with. I guess it is kind of now. You got to be a certain type of thin to be popular with ladies.
Yeah.
You need to be cute, like a Chalamet.
Yeah.
But just being a skinny guy, I don't think.
Well, yeah.
I think a bigger guy gets more ladies than a skinnier guy.
Well, if you're really skinny and tall, they cancel each other out because then you're just lanky.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants lanky.
Yes.
They don't want a beanpole. So.
And I think they don't want, speaking in stereotypes here, but generally just I remember one time I was with a lady and she was like, oh, my jeans could they're like too big on you. Like that's
fat. Yeah. No one likes skinny. Yeah. But tall, it does cancel out. Yeah, because people probably you're probably tall, right?
I'm very tall, 6'3".
No one knows.
No one knows. That's not true.
Well, no,
what do you mean no one knows?
You just see lanky. You don't see tall.
I see what you're saying.
I see what
you're saying. Okay.
I know friends like this who are tall and lanky, and no one's like, "You're really tall." They just go, "You're lanky."
I see.
Tall, you need kind of a little the skinny.
You need like a Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Chest.
Otherwise, it's just the tall doesn't work. Unfortunately. But he's got a special. I got a special. Check him out. Mark Norman's page. Yes. Long story thin, and good to have you on. We were talking recently. You had a comment because Joe List is the only other would you like to say that comment?
Oh yeah, someone just. I think. Well, I'm not going to say it's but this guy had a comment that was like, if you took all the good looks and personality out of Joe List, you'd be left with this husk of a man. I was like, God damn.
Husk of a man.
Husk of a man.
Because it's like the words are already stripping you bare, and then a husk is it's actually a pretty powerful image because it's almost like you're a husk of a man, not just because of who you are, but it almost feels like this comment made you a husk of a man. Like you're a husk of a man after this vicious comment. It's pretty biting.
Yeah. I'm generally, I could take a negative comment. I like to reply, which some people think is crazy, but I just replied this is pretty intense, man. Have a nice day, and he deleted it, which is.
Yeah. You appealed to his common decency. Well, that's good for you. I guess I don't I'm not happy about weight jokes, but I also don't like comments about the comedy itself because I'm already insecure about my comedy. So if someone says something negative, there's a good chance it'll be something have thought about. The worst comment so far on my special wasn't even on YouTube because I'm trying not to look at the YouTube comments. The worst comment was on Reddit. I had posted the special and someone. She wasn't trying to be mean, which made it the meanest thing ever.
Yeah.
She went. First of all, she started with "love the special," which sucks. Because now you have to believe in what she's saying to feel the love. She's like, "Love the special." I'd heard a couple of the bits already, and the last story went on way too long, and the payoff wasn't great. But otherwise, love the special, and that crushed me more than anything because I think the last story is good. It's this kind of long bit about Israel. But I've had insecurities that it's the payoff isn't great.
Yeah.
So I've had that thought. It was the best I could do, because it ends on.
That should be the name of the special.
It was. I did do a thing on Amazon that I wasn't happy about, so I think I called it "I've Done Better" or something. But so that really got to me, But whatever,
Yeah.
But then you start to, I start to like think, you start to spiral because you're like, people have been really nice about the special, really positive feedback. I love it all. I really appreciate it. But like sometimes you're like, well, it's not perfect. Nothing's perfect.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, a special is kind of a snapshot of your hour at that moment when you think it's kind of done. And so there's a part of me that's like, should I have worked on it longer? But then at the end of the day, I was like, this is the best I could do with, like, I'm glad it's out now.
And also, you can't go back and change it anyway.
You can't go back and change it anyway, but I don't think I would because, like, there's an instinct that says it's time to shoot a special. And for me, that instinct depends on a bunch of shit, but, like, this is like a somewhat topical special about how I've been feeling last like couple years. Okay. So like I wanted to get it out. It did feel like I shit on Rogan. What if he gets shot or something? People are getting shot every day. It'll ruin the whole thing. You know? So like imagine if I did a whole hour on Charlie Kirk. Imagine if I just put an hour out called The Roast of Charlie Kirk and it came out like the day after he got sniped. It would ruin the whole thing. You gotta get shit out quickly. So that element is like this is the best I could do while still feeling the pressure to get shit out because shit is going so quickly. And if my special is more personal, my next special is going to be more personal. If it was more personal and evergreen, I think I might have worked on it longer. But you feel that pressure, like to just get this shit out before the world ends and stuff, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, everything moves so fucking, I mean, it's a cliche at this point, but like, I remember when Rob Reiner died 40 years ago?
Yeah. That seems like, was it probably less than a month ago?
It was less than a month ago. It was Bondi Beach, same day, and the Brown shooting. And Rob Reiner died. Trump wrote some like really awful thing about it. He was like
very out of character for him.
But you know, he does this thing where sometimes you're like, the sociopathology can still trigger you sometimes, even though you know he's horrible. Sometimes you're just like, wow, even that. I know, it's just like it just gets to you. So like Rob Reiner was murdered in such a horrible way, and then his speech was like, you know, he had Trump derangement syndrome. It was just right after he was murdered. It was just crazy. And I remember thinking, God, he's such a piece of shit. And he has done so many other things I've been outraged by beyond that is completely forgotten. You know, he took over a city.
It's like when you're doing your movie podcast, you're like, that came out this year.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, Rob Reiner was this year. Yeah, no, it is insane. You know what's like the speed of everything. So anyway, it's good to get shit out quickly. And I don't know, Josh Johnson puts out a special every 12 minutes. He's put out a special since we started this podcast. 10 minutes in, he already has a special out. So anytime I'm like, is this rushed? I'm like, well, it's a lot less rushed than his shit.
You got to keep up with these people.
What if I did a special a day?
That could be big.
Would that be big? A special a day?
I don't know. It might be. I mean, I think anything that's different now is big. Like if you put, I was telling this to a buddy recently. I think if you put out a special that was 3 hours long, like I think that would be big.
Yeah, you got to.
Like if you save up instead of doing that, where you save up, release it. It wouldn't be worth the risk, I think. But I think the first person who does that, it's going to be a big pop because everyone will be talking about it. You hear there's a 3 hour long special.
I mean, Chappelle does that like every night, so I'm sure he could tape it at one time. I'm pretty sure all his specials they just stop recording. I'm sure he goes on for another 5 hours in that arena. But yeah, so yeah, you got to do something big, 3 hours. I don't know what else. I mean, a special a day. I mean, that'd be kind of tough if you had a new hour every day.
Yeah.
That'd be wild. I guess, I mean, the problem is it wouldn't be good, but I don't think that matters.
That's true. And how long would it have to be? Like, say if it was 15, you put out a new 15 minutes every day. You just do your spot that night, film it. Mm-hmm. It would be a nightmare to do. It wouldn't be worth it to me.
Yeah, that's the other part. You do want to enjoy this life at some point. Yeah. I also, the other thing to think about doing is like little shit gets like, it's always weird random shit that goes viral, right?
Right.
Like that comic in the subway takes. It's like for some reason asking someone a take holding a Metro card is huge.
Yeah.
So what if the best way I can spend my time to get successful is every day I try a different weird random kind of video. Like one day I'm eating hot wings while talking about the Brady Bunch.
Uh-huh.
And the next day I I like punch a cat in the
Yeah.
balls while like
This is
while
Raanan goes
reading-
viral.
Yeah, while reading the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
If I just do enough of those, one of them will hit,
And then that
right?
becomes your new show.
And then that becomes a series, you know?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, right? I eat cheesecake while talking about the third
This could be onto
season
something.
of Saved by the Bell. I have guests on. We always eat cheesecake while talking about just the third season of Saved by the Bell. That would be big, right?
It could be big.
Like, you just got to think
You
of
gotta
something
do
like
random
that.
shit. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a movie podcast. We haven't even talked about movies yet. So you
What
just
about
throw out
podcast-
random shit. You see what works.
Yeah, you know, just some ideas. I mean, the hot wing thing, that's big. What was that? That's
That's
just
big.
eating hot wings.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it has to be so stupid. People really like when they watch something and they're like, there's absolutely no substance here. They just love that.
And I think there's something that looks different. The differentness, really.
Of something.
Yeah, like
Trivial?
you can't eat cheesecake now because the wings guy exists.
Oh, you're saying I can't even do that now?
I don't think it would work as much. You got to do something. You got to be like handstands while talking. You know,
Ice
you gotta-
cold bath, ice cold plunge while reviewing
That's always you're always got to be reviewing something.
ice cold plunge while reading Yelp reviews of the 9/11 Holocaust Memorial Museum.
Okay. I mean, I'll let you go first on that one.
All right. Well, we're not here to talk about different ideas for podcasts. We're here to talk about my podcast because, you know, we might have lost people already, you know. I don't know, you know. People are always like, don't talk about, can you not talk about politics? Look, I don't talk that much. Every once in a while, I'm going to mention that Trump's a psychopath. I think that's okay.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? But so, moving on. We're talking movies. You saw 80 movies this year.
Roughly, give or take. I know I saw 60 in the theater.
Yeah, I mean, that's wild. Like, you
Yeah,
show
you
me
think?
the list,
Yeah.
60 movies, you know?
Yeah.
Like, to me, it was almost like you sent me a poem of loneliness, you know?
Why? You have a movie podcast. How many movies did you see this year?
I saw 31 on that list of movies in theater. I saw 31.
Okay.
Well, no, I've seen more. I saw 31 on your list.
Yeah, so you probably saw 40 movies in the theater.
Yeah, maybe 50, yeah.
That's not that different.
I'm lonely, too.
That's not that different.
So, yeah, you had the list, and I've talked about the movies of the year that I love. But
This could be like movies that fell through the cracks.
movies that fell through the cracks. I want to talk about movies that we saw that, like, I haven't talked about on the episode. Movies of 2026.
You know what movie I love that you probably haven't talked about?
Yeah.
That I have it. I don't know if I have it higher than most. It's a well-regarded movie,
All right,
but
let's do it.
it's big for me.
30 minutes in, we're about to talk about a movie.
Here we
You ready?
go. Knives Out 3. I loved it, and I
100% agree. I'm doing Subway
Oh, okay.
takes.
Now you're into the subway take.
the way,
Throw glasses
What a
takes.
shitty-
Throw glasses takes.
What a shitty thing to do to be like 100%. I'll punch him in the face if I do that show. I'm like, he's like 100% disagree. I'm like, what are you fucking assholes? Just say you don't agree. You don't have to be a dick about it. But anyway, yes, 100% agree. Not a perfect movie by any means.
No, but I'm a defender of that franchise. That generally people like those movies. Generally, I think
I'm not a defender of the franchise.
I think the first one is really, really fun. The second one's the weakest, but I still had a lot of fun with it. I think the third one's the best.
I didn't see this. I didn't see this. The glass potato or whatever. I didn't see that
That's
one.
glass potato.
But the first one. Okay, so this is by far my favorite. Is your
Yes.
favorite the first one?
I think the third one's probably my favorite. The first one has such a fun twist that I'm sure has been done before, but I haven't seen really done
Just
before.
the fact that she has to, like,
which you know who done it early on. I mean,
Right.
those movies tend to be less of a who done and why done.
Yeah.
Which and it's just there's a great group of actors just having a ball, and it's not as much about the mystery as it is about the themes, whether they're too on the nose or not. I just find it's a good time at the movies every time.
Yeah. So all right, we'll talk about the first one a little, then we'll talk about the third because I did really enjoy the third. The first one, oh yeah. So the premise is interesting. I'm trying to remember now. It's like she can't lie. Does she throw up if she tells the truth?
And now
or
it has been
something?
a while since
That
I've
is
seen
kind
it
of
as
it,
well.
though, isn't it? Like,
there is a
she's
little
like
thing
incapable
like that.
of lying, but she has to somehow manage to
Right.
My issue with the first one was my issue with the first one. It is fun, but I I think the problem you're saying, like they're all having a ball.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem with the movie. They kind of know they're being funny, and I think comedically it just didn't work for me. They're so like over the top. I feel like the comedic tone was off a little to me, like a little just like they knew they were having fun. I think that kind of hurt it a little for me.
I kind of think it came, and it's tough for me to remember going back, but in my memory, it came around at a perfect point where the murder mystery wasn't too oversaturated yet.
Yeah.
And like the themes of kind of shitting on the 1% wasn't too
Right,
oversaturated.
right.
So it hit at a great time.
Yeah.
It had that cast, like Ana de Armas wasn't kind of
I mean,
everywhere.
it was her
like,
first. I mean,
yeah.
Her still at her most beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, she is.
And
so gorgeous
and then you just
in
have
that
like
movie.
Michael Shannon and
But
you
it's
know,
Michael
Daniel
Shannon. I love Michael Shannon, but seeing Michael Shannon trying to be funny is uncomfortable.
Yeah, but
he doesn't
like,
really get
he's,
comedy.
He's not like Jim carrying it.
No,
like,
but he is trying to be funny.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it. So
I thought the comedy was off, but it was. But
I want to come back to Knives Out. Can I
Yeah.
pitch you on a movie idea?
Yeah.
That I've had. I was thinking about this during Christmas. Shocked they haven't done a new Home Alone. Just whether it's good or not, just in this IP
last one was the third one, right?
oversaturated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say Home Alone 3. Kevin's the dad. His kids go missing. I feel like that's a $1 billion idea that, like, I'm shocked hasn't been made.
Macaulay Culkin trying to get his kid back.
Yes, but so here was a fun thing. I think you'll enjoy this. Cast the new Wet Bandits. Because
Yeah.
you want someone who's kind of serious and you want someone who's a little silly and you want to height
Do you have an idea?
this back. I think one...
Well, hold on. I'm trying to Can I guess or no? Is it not
I mean, you could
guessable?
guess if you want. It's kind of what we were just talking about, so it's easily guessable.
Is it me and you?
I think Michael Shannon. I think he would be great as like the Joe Pesci, like kind of serious, he's kind of serious, but has like a hint of goof.
Yeah, but Joe Pesci is like one of the funniest people alive.
Joe Pesci's one of the funniest people alive.
So. I mean, I think
it works because he's so serious. Especially before that time, we know him now from Home Alone, but going into that movie, you know him from Goodfellas.
Right, which
and
is,
like,
I mean, that is a funny role.
That is true.
I mean, you are
yeah,
laughing at him.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean?
But he is so self-serious in it.
Right.
That's where the laughter comes from.
Interesting. So Michael Shannon's a Joe Pesci, and then who's the Daniel Stern?
This one I had tougher with because you're going kind of inverse. So you want a shorter guy to play up. You want a shorter, goofier guy because you have a tall, serious guy.
Shannon's tall?
Shannon's the tall, serious guy.
Okay, so you're throwing it around.
I'm throwing it, yes.
Okay,
I'm throwing it around.
Right.
The one I went with, it's not perfect, but I think it could work, is Radcliffe.
Chloe Radcliffe?
yeah. Daniel
With
Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe, Michael Shannon. What do we think of those two Wet
It's
Bandits?
so bizarre.
It's kind of, I know, I kind of like it though.
I'm trying to think. I gotta really like open my mind
That's
here.
that's
'cause
true.
It's like there's so many.
I mean, of course, the actual one would probably be Kevin Hart. Would be the short guy.
And The Rock.
And the Rock. Yeah. No, honestly, it would probably be that's. But I think I don't know. I like Michael Shannon being so self-serious. He's a little funny. That's what made me think back to this Home Alone convo I had.
That's an interesting idea. I think I would go with. I mean, maybe mine's a little too like kind of being like the first one. I think Bobby Cannavale is a good choice for the Joe Pesci character.
Okay.
Right? Like,
Okay. That's a solid one.
Because he's Joe Pesci and like Joe Pesci, but that's so similar to Pesci in the sense that they're both.
That's true.
They both can be very scarily authentic, but
Yeah.
also kind of
And they have the Italian mobster
Italian
vibe.
mobster, but they also can be kind of played up for a kids movie.
Yes.
So they can in a way where it's actually not scary.
That's true.
Like
That's true.
not real. So Bobby Cannavale, I think, would be good as that. And then for Daniel Stern,
But now you need a shortcut because Cannavale's tall, right?
yeah. I guess you're right.
I think you need to go tall and short. That's
I
what
guess
part of
you're
what
right.
makes
So
the
you
Home
need a
Alone
short
dynamic
guy.
worth.
I mean, I'm caught in the Italian Jew combo.
The
of the
short
original.
guy is kind of tough. I think the short role is tough because like I thought of Dinklage, but that's too short. That's almost I think that would come across mean.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And then you get like
Unlike the other dignified roles he's done as the elf's helper and the elf's.
well, and then Kevin Hart I think is too obvious. And then like who else is short? Like an Elijah Wood, a Daniel Radcliffe.
I feel like you want to go Jew though, don't you? A little for the comedic part.
Okay, but who I mean, who you got? Short, you don't want too old either. You want him to be like he could be roughed up a little bit without cracking a hip.
And it's kind of like slapstick, right?
Yeah.
Because Daniel Stern's so slapstick.
Yes.
So who's a good slapstick guy? I don't even know if they have slapstick guys anymore.
So I think Daniel Radcliffe could do it. He has a charm to him. He has a lightness to him.
I guess he could be good. Yeah. In my head, he just seems so young still.
I know, yeah.
He's like been 20s, and he's 20 in his 50s or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he could be good. I'm trying to think. I mean, like, him or, I don't know. I feel like you could go, like, it's hard to think of short. But if you didn't go short, I think a Will Forte would be really good.
Yes.
You know what I
But
mean?
maybe too comedic.
Maybe too
you know?
comedic, yeah. But no, that's an interesting. They should do that. Home Alone. Yeah, he didn't come. Yeah. You know, that would be a good idea.
Okay. I took us down a rude rabbit hole, but I've been thinking about that Home Alone thing since Christmas.
No, that's an interesting concept. So wait, what were we talking about?
Knives Out.
Knives Out. So yeah, I thought the first one, the tone was a little off comedically, but I did love. I can't stress how much I love Anna de Armas. But the but whatever. The third one was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
Like, I mean, low expectations for me coming in just because the truth is, and this is how I feel about mysteries, even if it's comedic, there's different types of murder mystery type things. The Agatha Christie murder mystery is the bottom shelf type mystery, right?
For you.
For
anyone.
I think objectively. Well, I mean, like, if you compare it to, like, the best mysteries are like Chinatown, Mystic River, L.A. Confidential. Those are murder mysteries, but they're ones where, like, the mystery reveals something about the themes, and that allows it to go into a deeper place. Right. Agatha Christie mysteries are very shallow by nature.
I see.
It's kind of like, who did it?
Okay.
You know what I mean? And there's typically not revealing much, except for the one example where it happens to be, in my opinion, one of the greatest movies of all time, which is Gosford Park, which is the spoof on the Agatha Christie. Now, these are comedies, the Knives Out kind of.
Yeah.
But they're not, they typically don't, the mystery doesn't reveal much more than just how they got away with it.
Oh, see, I disagree with that. I think in all three of them, they're very tied into, well, especially the third one, which is like religion, belief.
Well, there are interesting themes in the third one.
Yes.
But the actual murder itself just becomes kind of this plotting kind of thing.
A mechanism for exploring all of that.
Yeah, but I don't because what you ultimately find out at the end is that, I mean, I guess you're right. I guess because the whole idea is, I'm trying to even remember now.
Especially with the reveal, which I think is very, those movies tend to be clever. Some people maybe don't love, it's maybe too clever, but it works for me. And the end, spoiler, but he being an atheist prescribes a little bit to the, not even the power of religion, but the power of story. And humility. And in giving this woman, Glenn Close's character, some grace in letting her confess instead of him.
Yes.
And there's a lot of interesting and beautiness in that. Beauty in that movie.
I agree. It almost is like the whole movie's kind of a dig at the Richard Dawkins kind of arrogant atheist, you know?
Yeah, a little bit.
Because
he sets up the hero to be a little bit of like, he has his points, but he's a little bit of the fall guy in a sense, Daniel Craig.
And in a godless world, all he really has is the ability to show how smart he is to other people, and that smugness.
Yeah.
And that is a great concept. I will say that is a great concept. And Josh O'Connor is just a brilliant actor.
He did. And
so
that scene with who's the lady, the blonde comedian who's like, she works at like the truck, not the truck driving, but she works at like, she has the phone call with him.
Oh,
Bridget
Everett.
Yeah. That I weep during that scene where it's just like a very the movie stops and he just like takes her like confession
and he has like that duty and he has to do
and you
it.
see it's like I'm not a religious person, but it does a good job of being like, there's something here. If you take it seriously and are actually a good person, there can be like beauty and helpfulness here.
For sure. And that is a great part of the movie. I think Josh O'Connor is so soulful that it just feels like he feels like a priest. Like you understand like where he's coming from, and he really makes. I like Daniel Craig more in this just because there was less of him. He
has less of him in this.
It movie, was hard the first movie. It's such a bad accent, and
and of course they play into that.
And they play into it, but it's hard to like. I always have a tough time when they're like they know something's bad because I'm like, well, it is bad though. But like, and also I just don't think it was that funny the first one. Now I still don't think the third one's that funny. It's just kind of like, but it is really entertaining.
Yeah.
And I do think there's a lot of interesting ideas. Now, I will say, I still think overall, and I really enjoyed the movie, but overall, the movie's still stuck in this kind of like clever, overly polished, stylized contraption. So there's something inherently like a little. There's not like a lot of breathing room in the movie. Everyone's kind of a cartoon, and the shots are all, it's just very big. And I, interestingly enough, I kind of feel about it the way I felt about Juror 2. Did you see Juror 2? The Clint Eastwood movie?
Yes, Juror number 2.
Juror number 2. I thought similar to that, which is that this is such a great idea for a movie that even though it kind of like doesn't fully go there, the idea is so promising that it's still a good movie.
Juror number 2 felt like a 90s throwback, too, which I thought was kind of fun.
But it was an idea that's so great.
Yes.
It actually has a lot to say.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Both those movies actually have quite a bit to say, and they can't fully go there just because there's a sort of like inauthenticity in the story that keeps it from like getting fully...
And it goes more pulp, especially Juror number 2.
Both of them, yeah. And so like it can't fully get there, but there's so many interesting ideas between the atheist who's arrogant and the spiritual, religious guy. And the idea of the ultimate atheist being the Agatha Christie detective, which is the ultimate atheist is the guy who just only believes in the intellect and really his main meaning in life is just showing, proving how smart he is.
Yeah.
Like that's all that's left if you don't believe in God.
I'm also a big Rian Johnson guy. Big Rian Johnson guy.
From just this, what has he just done this in? Oh no, he did this in Star Wars, and what else did he do?
First of all, Star Wars: Last Jedi, my favorite modern day Star Wars.
That's the third one.
That's the second one. The third one is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. Second one's really great, very very heatedly debated in nerd circles, which I know you're probably not plugged into that part of movie culture, but people hate it. Me and Greg Stone had an hour's conversation about how much he hated it, and it's
is this
like
the one where Harrison Ford dies?
No, that's first. That's 7. Leia.
This is the one where Leia dies.
I mean, no, this is one where Luke dies in 8. 8 is kind of like Luke's movie.
Is this the one where Daisy Ridley trains with Luke on the island?
Yes.
I saw it. And I believe Carrie Fisher dies at the end, right?
She does not because she technically dies in 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she was CGI'd, right?
No, it was deleted scenes, I believe. She has like a death scene, but she like sucks herself back in, and
I saw it. I don't know how I felt about it, but
that's
anyway.
Fair. But I love that. I remember too. You ever those directors you kind of grow up with? I saw Brick on DVD early on, and I was like, this rules. I like the Brothers Bloom. I think Looper's good, and I've just.
Oh, you're a hardcore Rian Johnson fan.
I think he's a nice young man, and I've liked everything he's done, and
he is more successful than I feel like he has hardcore fans, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he'd probably be really appreciative of you.
I'm gonna send him a message
because he's probably like, he's definitely not one of the cool ones, you know what I mean?
And I think that's kind of what I like about. But I think you can make an argument that he hasn't had he's had all solid movies.
But you can make an argument for anything. It's like you can
make an argument for anything. I guess that's true.
Argument
I'm just saying I would argue.
Where's My Car is the greatest movie of all time.
I would argue he's made a lot of good movies. He doesn't get the respect he's deserved.
Got all Seinfeld. Of course you can make an argument.
No.
Anyone can make an argument. The hard part is winning the argument. Anyone can make one.
In a plane, on a plane. Just
over the hill, on the hill, kill myself. Why myself? I hear what you're saying, and I mean, I just think his directing is so controlled and in your face.
Yes,
that it's a little
but that works. I don't know. It just works for me. It's someone I see who's not considered a master, even though he's got some screenplay nods and stuff like that. But he's well liked, but he's just someone. His movie starts, I go, this is my vibe.
Yeah,
I'm into this.
Well, you know what it is. He is not subtle.
And
he's
know
not
what?
subtle with his themes.
Subtlety's overrated.
And he's definitely not subtle with his directing. It's so in your face. You know what I mean? It's entertaining, but it's so in your face.
You ever watch Garth Marenghi's Dark Place? You ever see that?
No, I don't know.
Oh my God, one of the best. It's 6 episodes. You can find it all on YouTube. It's made to be a parody of like a wannabe Stephen King in the 80s. It's like a purposely bad
but it's
TV
funny?
show. It's very funny. And it's this guy who's meant to be like a bad Stephen King. His name's Garth Marenghi. And there's this quote from it that it shows an episode of the TV show that was made.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to him giving commentary on it. And like the characters are saying exactly what's on their mind. It cuts to him. He goes, I've known a lot of writers that have used subtext. They're all cowards. it's such a funny show,
funny.
and
That's so funny.
so I think about that a lot. But I also I think there is an argument to be made of where you land on the subtlety kind of continuum, because one could make an argument that movies like Wolf of Wall Street, Fight Club. I don't know if I'd make this argument, but one could make the argument that if the core audience missed the point of the movie, maybe it's too subtle.
Well, that goes back to the.
It's a bigger thing. But
like you ever see Quills with Jeffrey Rush?
I've never seen Quills.
It's Marquis de Sade, and he gets in trouble because he wrote something that makes someone do
Right.
the thing in the thing, and he's like, "Well, if someone read the Bible and drowned, and then tried to walk on water and drowned, would you blame God?" You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, Eddie, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the artist's obligation.
I don't think it is, but I'm just saying there's a 0 to 100 scale, and I think you can make an argument that like sometimes it's good when people get the point of the movie. Sometimes you want people.
I agree. I mean that. Yes, I guess in a way, I kind of think. I actually feel so ideologically opposite of that, to the point where, like, I actually think if someone misses the point of a movie, it's usually a testament to the movie being good. Like, for example, Godfather, we all agree is one of the greatest movies of all time. Saddam Hussein's favorite movie. Seriously.
Yeah.
He loves that movie. Now, clearly, I think he's not getting the right point from it. Right? He's kind of like, well, this is what you got to do to protect your family, right? But that's how beautiful the movie is, that it's so, like, just showing life the way it is, that someone could. I mean, there is clearly a moral in the movie that he's missing. Like, the door shutting is not necessarily.
Yeah.
But it's also the way life is.
Yeah.
So it's like a mirror to life.
And there's a nuance to the whole thing that I'm not asking every movie hit you over the head, but I do think there's value in movies that like 90% of the people leave and they go, I know what that movie was trying to say.
Right.
And not all movies should be like that. But I don't think that necessarily makes a movie good or bad.
Right. I agree. I will say this. Often, when a movie can get away with not being subtle if the idea itself is actually fairly novel or interesting. Because then if it's an interesting idea, you don't need to be subtle. You know what I mean? Like, The Wire was not subtle, but I thought it had some interesting ideas that it was really trying to say.
Yeah.
And then that also begs the question, is the things that aren't subtle, are they kind of saying the same things that the things that are subtle, are they kind of just saying the same things not subtle movies are saying, but by hiding it, it just seems deeper?
Yeah, and I think that happens a lot, where if you go all the way to the other end. I remember when I was in college, we saw this movie called this art movie called Flicker, which was like 20 minutes, and it was like all white for 1 minute, then all black for 1 minute, then all white for 1 minute, all black.
Like,
and it was
falling asleep hearing it.
Yeah. And it was a thing of like, but this is so open end. This could mean, and it's so nothing. It could be everything, And I think sometimes you see that in some like really art movies where you're like, you were so open to interpretation that you didn't give me anything.
Yes, it can go too far, but I do think generally the great movies, them being open to interpretation, is more a testament to the fact that like life is mysterious and the answer isn't always so clear.
Yeah.
And you're more of like an expression that like delves into stuff without always having a clear answer. Because the truth is, I mean, the Coen brothers said this. They're referring to Inside Llewyn Davis, but they kind of said when a character is enigmatic, it makes the movie more interesting because it makes people like really think about what the character is. So if you don't fully understand the character, there is this kind of power it has. And some of the great characters in the movies, because of their enigmatic quality. Now, you don't want to be too enigmatic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sometimes a certain amount of enigma of what's going on there gives it the power. And so at the end of like, Knives Out, and granted, it's trying to be this, so it's like I'm not criticizing the movie that hard, but like the answer's right there. He's like, he learned exactly humility from Josh O'Connor.
Right.
Like, you're like, that's it. You know what I mean? And that does, once you reveal it all, there's not much left to it doesn't fully resonate once you reveal everything. And I actually think I actually just think that like, and I really did like the movie, but I actually think like a really deep movie that showed the difference between like a religious person and like a detective and showed their different viewpoints that could actually go really deep without having like the exact answers. Because this does have this basically says there might not be a God, but the humility of certain people who believe in God is definitely something you can learn from, right?
Yeah.
But like the mystery of those two worldviews in a movie could be really fascinating, like in a detective story, you know.
Yeah.
But that being said, it was a fun movie. But yeah, it's definitely not subtle.
Okay. And I'm okay with that.
But I did like it a lot.
Yeah.
I did.
Should I bring out the list? Should I look at,
Bring
or
out the
do
list,
you have
yeah.
other movies that you wanted to talk about specifically that
No,
you
bring out
haven't
the
talked
list.
about
That will be
yet on the
well,
pod?
yeah, I want to ask you about a couple because I feel like the movies I was most disappointed by this year were
Okay.
actually the foreign films,
I remember you saying
and I
that
feel
to me.
guilty about it. But
Yeah, you weren't a No Other Choice guy, and you weren't it was just an accident guy.
I wasn't crazy about No Other Choice. It was just an accident. Sentimental Value or Secret Agent.
Secret Agent is the one of the four I like the least. I just didn't. It was very slow and very, I guess, episodic. It just didn't. It didn't move for me, and I had a real tough time.
I had a
with
real
that.
tough time too, and I think
And
like,
it's very long. It's the longest of the
it's
three.
really
I think,
long. I
of the
think,
four.
and a lot of people love it. And look, I don't know. I can't tell if people are just bullshitting and just not admitting that they like. Because I actually think the big problem with that movie. I do have to see it again, but I do think the big problem is that it kept you in the dark for too long, to the point where I actually was not engaged anymore. Like it keeps you so in the dark about what's happening that by the time they reveal the shit with him and his wife and why he's on the run, I had just been in the dark for so long. And even that explanation was like very vague. I felt like, I'll be honest, I hate to say this, but
The last 20 minutes feels very like a different movie too. It kind of
Right.
switches gears a little bit, and
it switches gears and it doesn't, I mean, I feel like I'm wrong about this. Usually I have a very strong opinion about a movie and I like feel confident. I have to say it. I'm going to
funny.
admit it and be honest. This is a podcast where I'm honest. I didn't get it.
Yeah. Well, I don't even. As I've gotten older, I have less strong opinions because I go like, I didn't like that, but I'm probably dumb. I don't know. Like,
That's
you know,
how
like
I feel.
that's how I feel about.
That's how I feel. Just this one time. Just this one time, I'm like, nothing in it is bad. There's nothing for me to like criticize, which is usually a sign that I didn't get it. You know what I mean? Usually when something's bad, you're like, that's bad. Nothing in it where I'm like, is that bad?
I
It's
think
all-
you need to Eddington it. You need to watch it 6 times.
I might
and
have
you,
to.
and you need to,
And I could be, but I just am not used to that kind of narrative. I just like the kind of narrative where there's like one story that they don't explain, where they don't explain why he's there or while the people are there, and then cutting away from that story. I guess the combination of cutting away, you going to different stories when you never really explain the original story, it was like a little too much for me, I guess. And I like I can enjoy an avant-garde movie, but the problem is this isn't exactly avant-garde. It's
Yeah.
a weird thing where like it's a narrative enough for you to like want certain answers, and then it doesn't really just not answers about like the themes, just like literally what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Like you have no like I didn't realize they were all like refugees in that apartment till like 2 hours into the movie.
right? Yeah, it's a slow drip of getting
It's
information.
a slow drip, and then I don't know anything about Brazilian. I mean, I know there was obviously a horrible fascist, corrupt regime, but I felt like I was missing stuff there about Brazilian history.
Did you see? Was it I'm Still Here?
I didn't see that either.
Solid. I like that.
People say, yeah, and that's more straightforward, right?
Yeah.
I just thought it was like I was just lost, and I saw Ismail Lutfi, and afterwards we're both like, we're smart people, but we were both so confused, just so confused by everything.
Now, to change up to No Other Choice, I feel like a big thing where you is you not liking the comedy in a movie. That's a big Raanan
Have I talked to
turnoff
No Other Choice? Have I talked about
to me
this?
about it.
I want to preface this by saying I love Park Chan-wook.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorites.
Handmaiden's great.
Handmaiden is, I'm embarrassed to say, I just saw it. It's incredible.
Great movie.
It is incredible.
We got Old Boy.
Old Boy. You know what he is, which is like something I've never. He is in your face while being so deep and smart and like he. It's like visually, it's some of the most stunning shit you've ever
He's
seen.
great. There's shots in this No Other Choice where
Of
you're
course.
just like out of control.
He is he's so usually someone who's that good visually in such an in-your-face way isn't always so deep, I guess, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, he's visual in a way that's like and not just visually, the colors are always. I feel like colors are always the most vibrant in his movies. The colors pop in like a Park Chan-wook movie more than any other movie. Old Boy, I think, is one of the greatest movies of all time. Handmaid is incredible. Decision to Leave is incredible. I was wanting to love this at every I should love this. I love Park Chan-wook. I love the idea, and I'm watching it, and the comedy. It is a comedy.
And it's a comedy, but I don't think it's kind of like Knives Out. It's not like a capital C comedy. Like,
I guess I have trouble with that because to me it ended up being like, because when you do a comedy like that, the characters aren't really real because no character's actually doing that.
I guess, but there's also like a satire element to it where it's kind of going above and beyond a little bit, you know, with the.
I have a problem with satire. Satire is just comedy that's not funny.
Comedy that's pulling its punches.
Yeah, well. It's not that. Obviously, there's some great satire. But the problem with it for me. All right, tell me why you loved it, and then we can go.
Well, I don't want to jump into your brain here, but I think maybe you just don't like because I mean, it's clearly this guy he's killing off all of his people that could potentially get his job, and maybe you just don't like that. That's like so much of a unrealistic farce, even though it's clearly, you know, it's a commentary on capitalism and all this stuff, but you just don't like how maybe non-realistic it is, I guess. Like,
I guess I want to, there's a truth to that, but I want to say, I get that it's trying to be this big satire.
Yeah.
And I get the murders, a metaphor and all that stuff, but, I guess because the characters are kind of, real in other ways, and they all do try to create some real sense in the family, the murders themselves just feel purely like a metaphor and not real.
Right.
And I actually think it loses its bite where you're like, well, this isn't, he wouldn't actually do this. And I get the joke. It's a funny joke, the joke, the idea that people are put so much self-esteem into their job that the idea of killing people just to get a job as opposed to killing people to maybe make money where you don't have to work. You're still, even in killing, you're still thinking.
And there's a little bit of, it's not even just like a capitalism. It's a little bit of an AI automation commentary, which is we have to remember that people put a lot of stock in their jobs. It's what they do for a living. And there's a pride with that. And you kind of take that away. I think there's even from my memory, it's been a couple months now, but there's some scenes where people are like, well, we could maybe get you another job. And he's like, no, this is what I do. I'm good at this.
Yeah.
This is what I derive value from. And just let me do that. Things are going well. Let me keep doing this. And then you kind of take that away from someone.
Right.
And they can very easily spiral.
They can spiral because they see this role as their role that they're fulfilling, and it's their self-esteem there without that. And I get that. And it's a funny joke. But to me, it's it's almost maybe too good of a joke where it's I get it. And then you still have to watch him through the whole movie. And so you then have to watch this kind of funny premise play out. And it doesn't really play out in a way that I found that interesting,
And it's definitely a little bit, if you're a big fan of his, it's a little sillier, not necessarily slighter, but it's a little sillier, less dark, less than a lot of his other stuff. So if you go and being I'm gonna get another one from my boy, it's a little bit of a curveball from him.
It tries to, but it kind of failed because it ends up getting that darkness at the end where he buries the one guy alive.
Yeah, I kind of too that I thought the wife was great, and a great turn is that in a lesser movie, an easier movie, the wife kind of turns him in, and the wife is keeping up with the Joneses too, and is immediately on his side, and is kind of
But it's just, you get it right away. And then I guess my problem is, this is why I think it's good for satire to actually be really funny, because I get the satire part.
Yes.
But if it's not that funny, I'm just stuck with this idea I get. I guess that's my issue. It's really an issue of tone. It's I don't buy this as he's not really there's no way someone who's prepared to kill people is then immediately guilty about killing them. Like immediately, like I can't like. But he's like the idea of trying to kill someone, but then immediately feeling bad is just like not a. It's not true to human nature. You know what I mean?
Well,
that you're like, I'm not saying it's like hard to. I'm just saying like the idea that you're like so prepared to do it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you can't pull the trigger. But then going from that to him having a grotesque murder also didn't ring true on any level. I'm not saying a movie has to be realistic, like social realism. I get that movies can be broad and over the top. But even when it's over the top, I want to see some I want to understand. I want to have it make sense on some level as his character. And I guess I didn't see it make sense. I thought his character was being put in it's essentially like a sketch kind of.
Yeah, and it's kind of I think overall a good year for movies, but one can make an argument that a lot of people, they came out with movies that I think are still good, but are not as good as like their immediate past work. Like we're talking about this movie here, but then you have Sentimental Value compared to Worst Person in the World. And then you have Bring Her Back. What was the Claw movie? The horror Talk to Me. Which I think all those, you could look at all three. You could watch all three of those movies and be like, I can't wait to see what's coming next.
Yeah.
And then you watch them and be like, this is good, but it's not like you're kind of expecting.
Yeah, it's a great point. It's like these are all directors I love. For the most part, and I really wanted to love Sentimental Value. I just think they have the relationship between her and him that's just kind of avoided through the movie. The daughter that's focused on other shit, but then at the end they come to this understanding that I just didn't think was earned. I think the dad was a piece of shit, and and I don't buy that she would like understand him at the end because it's one thing that he's distant from her. Because her depression reminds him of his own mother, you know?
And he could only speak through the art and...
But what about all the parts where he just puts her down over and over and over
Or just wasn't there for
wasn't
years.
There, and puts her down, like literally is just like, I don't like theater. That doesn't really explain... There's a cruelty to him that doesn't really explain, Like at the end, she's like, "I get it. He can only communicate through his art." I'm not like I get that she's not like fully forgiving him. She's just understanding him.
Right.
But I didn't even buy that honestly. I think he was just too cruel. And he didn't do anything. Like even in Royal Tenenbaums, like Gene Hackman does try things to get like so by the end there is like he's not really. I mean, I guess he wants her to be in it. I guess that's him trying something, but like there just wasn't like. I just didn't think there was a focus on them two. I got kind of bored because it like went all over the place.
Now, I will say my favorite of the four was just an accident.
That's another one. I feel so bad about this.
Is there any? Would you of the four we're talking about here? Is there any that you said like, okay, this one maybe I like a little better?
First of all, they're all like none of them are bad.
Yes,
movies.
yeah.
I respect all of them. It was just an accident. Is one that I also deeply respect, but once again. And this gets it. It's kind of trying to be a comedy in many ways.
There's a little bit, especially
not funny. It's not funny.
Yeah,
like
I think they're really going for that one character specifically, who's like the kind of like guy who's been the most broken by the torture. Is like very over the top in a kind of a comedic way.
But my issue is that I feel like people really respected the fact that he would take this dark subject matter, which typically is kind of a revenge story that's not funny but really fucked up.
Yeah.
But the idea that he added this little Miss Sunshine humor into the revenge story, people really respected that.
Yeah.
I respect it in theory, but it's just not funny. And maybe I don't get Iranian humor. I don't know. But it's just I wasn't laughing at the jokes. And there were jokes. So that is a problem. Like, it's just not funny.
Yeah. But I mean, that's an interesting thing, too, when you talk about like comedy or horror. Like, is there a thing of like a horror movie could be good and not scare you, but can a comedy movie be good and not make you laugh?
That's a great question.
And like,
I'm a little harder on comedies in that way
and
than I am horror.
Yes. And I would also argue this, again, it's comedic, but it wouldn't be in blockbuster under comedy.
No.
You know?
But even the comedic part, it's just the attempt. That's the thing. It's just the attempt. It's getting praised for the attempt. But like, there's nothing actually, but it could be funny. I mean, you could like, you could be funny in that situation. They just don't really know how to do anything funny. It's not just that. My problem with the movie, the idea is obviously very interesting. And I get that the anger is raw and personal and he's gone through so much. And I don't think he was tortured as a filmmaker, but he went to jail and there is a raw anger. I feel that and I connect to that. But it's also a bunch of archetypes kind of having a really like bad moral argument that you have in plays. It's quite a bit of that. And it's the kind of bad theater where like one guy even says to the guy like, if you bury him, you also bury your soul or some shit. Like it's just some bad moralizing dialogue. Do you feel that way, or
I don't know. I mean, I think there was some.
Sure that, we still good.
Yeah, I think there was something. There's. Yeah, a lot of them kind of are archetypes, but there was something too where the our main character he helps the kidnapper's kid at the end of it, and he kind of. Like what's the humanity with revenge, which I know has been done like 1,000 times, but like at the very end with him hearing the sound again of this is never going to leave him.
Yeah.
I think that the performances were great.
No. There's a lot of great. I mean, the performances were great, and the shot with him on the tree was amazing at the end with the red light.
And also funny, like so many. I know it's probably. Hopefully going downhill a little bit, but so many comedians, they were, talking about cancel culture for 1,000 years. And it's so funny. This guy who directed this movie has been in jail for his movies. He gets out and he's like, I'll make another movie. And then is like, we'll go back to jail.
No, it's their version of the
crazy.
Oscars is just like who goes to jail for their movie.
Yeah.
That's like winning the Oscar.
Yeah.
He's like gone to jail 12 times. That's how good of a filmmaker he is. And he's sentenced to jail again.
Yeah.
And he's going back. He's an incredible hero. They filmed the movie in secret. I get, I almost feel like such a piece of shit for not
when you don't like.
Because it's like, what do you want? He made he made a movie in secret. Yeah. In secret that got out that he's going to jail for, which is him both dealing with his anger for the regime, but also coming to terms with not becoming a monster himself.
Yes. Yeah.
Not forgiveness. I don't believe it's forgiveness at the end. But there is a sense of rising above becoming a monster.
Yeah.
That guy is awful and evil, and they do rise above, even though they're morally warped and traumatized. They do rise above becoming as bad as him.
Yeah.
And that is all beautiful. I should love this movie. But I just found the actual scenes themselves. I don't. We should wrap this up. It's been like 4 hours.
No, I was just looking at other movies to talk
time is
about. It is 4:37.
Oh wow, yeah, we'll wrap it up in a little bit. But the scenes themselves, I guess I didn't enjoy. I just felt I really don't like when people have moral arguments.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just they do that in Munich, and I hate it. The whole Munich, they're just like, should we be killing these people? And while they're, it's just I just find it bad theater. I feel like, do you think there was some bad theater and it was just an accident?
I mean,
what
I
does
guess
this killing do to our souls? But that being said, it's obviously a good movie. I guess it just didn't live. You know what? It was overhyped. Honestly, It just didn't live up to the hype for me. It was just an accident. It's like all these movies I want to love. I just don't enjoy watching them. And maybe it's because I didn't find them funny, I guess.
Okay. I was gonna talk about some big budget movies, but I don't know if we're running out of time. What about a Predator Badlands?
I didn't see that. Is it good?
Good movie.
It seems insane.
Did you like Prey? Did you see Prey?
I love Prey.
Yeah.
Moana meets Predator. I'm all in.
Yeah. I think you'll like this. I think this.
My issue with the preview is the whole thing.
That's why I don't watch the previews. Then you'll have no issues.
The whole point of Predator is that he's scary dealing with humans. But is this where you're on a planet with a bunch of predators? That seems really boring.
No, But he's essentially the human, and everything else is trying to kill him.
So the Predator is a good guy.
I mean, kind of.
That's insane. It's good,
but I mean. Yeah, let's see it and see what you think.
Jason, where you have to identify was Freddy Krueger or some shit.
No.
All right, so it's good.
I think it's good. I think it was one of the better big budget.
Who does Elle Fanning play? Does she play the Predator?
No, she plays. She's they have a name for him in the Alien franchise, but she's like a robot.
Oh, she's a robot.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll check it out. Yeah, I mean, it looked. I mean, I love Prey. Really love Prey. I think that was the first of kind of the new Predator movies I'd seen, and I loved it. Yeah.
You're not an Avatar guy, I take it.
No,
imagine? You saw the first one? I take it.
I saw the first one, and I mean, it was okay. I thought the first one was the best. I saw the second one, and I almost threw up. I just got so nauseous.
Oh, really?
I might have been in a 4D. No, I think it was just the 3D glasses. I get nauseous. I'm just not I hate that. I'm not impressed by the special effects. I'm just kind of like.
I'm almost the opposite, where I'm very impressed by the special effects, and that's almost why I go, because the movies, especially as they go on, have been less and less. And like even the whole central, there's a weird like 90s aspect to it, where it's kind of like a Dances with Wolves of like,
100%.
I'm gonna be the best.
Yeah.
The white guy gets to be the best, like Avatar, and there's a little bit of like, this is a little strange, but I'm kind of on board with the specialness of the effects. Going to a theater and seeing it.
It's interesting. I'm not. I'm like. I guess for me, it's like I was saying this was the other episode. Like, to me, like the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park is the greatest special effects for me because it's like. It's bringing something back to life, but there's also something real that I'm like, that looks like what a dinosaur could look like. Yeah. I've never wanted to know what
a Na'vi looks like.
So I'm like, I guess it's believable, but to me, it just looks like a cartoon.
Yeah.
I guess it's my issue. It's like it's like I feel like they spent billions of dollars to just make something you could draw. I'm really not impressed with. I mean, it's cool, but it's just so like it is so just animation.
Yeah.
That like. I guess I need a little realness to go in with the special effects,
Okay,
you know?
okay.
You got to have like, you know, you want to have like you need to have the fucking Hobbit in the scene with the fucking ogre for the ogre, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no fucking real the first one had an interesting mix, but now they're going full.
That's true.
Full blue world.
Yeah.
Also, the dialogue's terrible and all that stuff. But I don't know. I just get nauseous and it's too long. But yeah.
I try to, I don't want to say try and see the good, but James Cameron's such a good action filmmaker that I'm just kind of like, oh, I'll see that once every 2 years and just see what, you know.
But James Cameron used to have really original ideas for movies.
Yeah, well, yeah,
and then
of course.
Starting with Titanic, he just started going, I'm not going to do original ideas. I'm just going to like mash up old tropes. like Titanic is just all like he just went into a cliched world that he wasn't really like. Terminator doesn't really have the kind of cliches you see so much in Titanic or Avatar. So I do think like something happened to him where like his stuff was like so unique. And I guess obviously people say Avatar's unique, but at the same time, like from a story perspective, it's actually not.
And even from the looks are unique, the technology is unique, but there's like you're like, oh, this is just kind of like a rain tree forest cafe with like but that's a little sparklier. It's not like sometimes you see I'll never remember it, but there's this awesome sci-fi show where it's like three astronauts get lost in this like alien planet. I forget the name of it. Awesome show. And the alien world is so unique.
Yeah.
And it's so like different. And you could tell they spent so much time thinking about all the crazy shit that could happen in this world. And you're like, oh, that's a unique alien world, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It is like the Avatar world is, you're right. There is a familiarity to it. That's just kind of like, you're like, I don't know. Yeah, there's a cliches. It's just like, and it's the technology. He's so obsessed with the technology.
Yeah.
That I feel like he does prioritize that over story, character. You know what I mean? And ironically, the thing about James Cameron, he's always been a bit of a contradiction. His movies are like, it's like they feel like they were made by like the dumbest hippie in the world. They're always like so anti-military, anti-technology. And then his movies are so technologically oriented and usually deal so much with military and guns. Like, so there's always a weird contradiction with him where the things he hates, it's also the things he like fetishizes in the movie.
It's funny you talking about him kind of being more cliches, because in the end of this third one, the last hour is like, it's the big criticism is it's like it's almost exactly like the last hour of the second one.
Yeah.
Like it's very similar to a point where even like I think hardcore Avatar fans were like, I kind of just saw like all these beats happen like in the last movie.
That's what I'm saying. The story is bad. Like the story is not good. And it's like, and like that is the most important thing. And the fact that he thinks technology is like the thing that's most important is kind of like a problem.
That's true, but you can make an argument that like it kills it from a box office perspective. He's bright. Do you know, like people come
Of
out
course,
to
he
see
makes-
spectacle, and those Avatar movies still clean up.
But it seems like it's more loved in other countries. I feel.
I
Like
think that's
I
also
don't
true.
hear anyone talking about Avatar.
I know, but
think
it's
in
made a
China,
lot of money in America.
It
You can
is,
look it up.
yeah.
I think it's done pretty well. It's
seems
been
to
number
have-
one for like 5 weeks now.
It seems to like weirdly lack cultural impact in
Yeah.
a thing that should be cultural impact. That pretends
You don't
it's
go around talking about Jake Sully and
It's kind of a failed Star Wars, where it's like a mythology, but it's like we've kind of been saying no to it. we refuse for this mythology to be part of our cultural world. We refuse to we're not going to quote the way Star Wars is our mythology. You know,
Yeah.
we literally quote it all the time.
Yeah.
Like no one's quoting Avatar.
Well, when you take your kid to Epcot and you see the Tree of Life, you'll have to text me.
Bunch of Fern Gully bullshit. But anyway, well, this has been good. We talked a lot of movies. I feel bad. I talk shit about movies that I respect, but I just don't feel it. You know.
Got to be honest.
You know, there's like guilty pleasure, and then there's the opposite, where
Yeah.
you should like it, but you just don't.
Yeah.
That's what I have. A guilty disdain. Like I should love it. It was just an accident and no other choice. And Sentimental Value. They don't work for me. And honestly, I think you're right. It is the humor. All those movies, like in some ways, attempt to be funny are never actually funny. In fact, Sentimental Value. There's a scene with her and him in the beginning of the restaurant that actually is very funny. And then it never goes back to that kind of humor ever again. There's like a great scene where he's just putting her down the whole time. And he's like, I just don't like theater. Like he says, it's like, but then you never see the relationship ever again in the fucking movie. You can't just set them up and then just have them disappear the whole time, you know? But anyway, you're special. Long story thin.
Yeah. Well, watch it. Mark Norman's YouTube page. Give it a like. Give it a comment. You can give it a bad comment if you want. I might reply to it. We'll see.
Yeah. If you want to talk to him, write something mean. Apparently, that's how you're rewarding your negative commenters. And I got my special on Raanan Hershberg's YouTube page.
Oh, big get.
Big get. Morbidly Jewish. If you haven't watched it, I don't know why you're even you got to watch it. Watch both of ours. And yeah, this has been a lot of fun, man.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Gut.
Raanan is fat and he's a Jew. He'll tell you something that you already knew. Your favorite movie sucks. Your favorite movie sucks. American Beauty or Forrest Gump. Your favorite movie sucks.